Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, this week is Police Week, and I think our law enforcement officers would agree that public safety should not be a partisan issue. But what we have seen around the country are leftist judges and DAs who are pushing policies that put criminals back on the streets and take tools away from law enforcement. And one of the ways that happens is through cashless bail. I was an attorney for 30 years, and I practiced all levels of court, including criminal practice. And I've seen, and particularly in certain areas in my home state and other areas around the country, where violent criminals are released on either very low bail or in sometimes cashless bail. As Mr. Harris pointed out, you had the tragic situation of Irina Zarutska, who was brutally murdered on the light rail there in Charlotte. And she would be alive today had that criminal been in jail. He'd been released over and over and over again. You know, the Cashless Bail Reporting Act that we're debating today at least creates a list of jurisdictions that release individuals accused of serious offenses like murder, rape, carjacking without requiring cash bail. Now, I do think that the ranking member's assessment of bail, I would not disagree with the gentleman's assertion of how bail is set up. But I would submit, and perhaps the gentleman would agree with me, that there are instances where the courts simply are getting it wrong, and someone with common sense would look and say, why was this guy released on the street? The seriousness of the underlying crime, the criminal record. When you see someone who's been through the courts over and over again, and when the crimes get more serious every time, you know, it starts off with maybe just stealing, then it goes to robbery, then it goes to assault, then it involves a weapon. Why in the world would that person be released on a cashless bail, let alone why would they not be held in jail awaiting trial? Because here's what happens. You look at the statistics of the folks who commit crimes, my state, or your state, other states, a lot of the crimes are committed by the same folks over and over again. The statistics are out there showing the folks who go out and commit crimes while they are awaiting trial on other charges. We have to rein this in. And we've seen situations around the country where that hasn't happened. Look, I'll tell you, in our home state of North Carolina, former Governor Roy Cooper actually released over 3,500 convicts, the people who had already been convicted, released them early from prison with lengthy criminal records. The stats are showing of those folks released, most of them have reoffended since then. Look, the reality is there are some people who are dangerous. They are criminals. They are going to rob. They're going to murder. They're going to commit crimes. And they should be incarcerated. And what this bill does, at least, this is going to shine a light, and I appreciate you doing this, Mr. Harris. This is going to shine a light on those jurisdictions where the judges are just letting these violent criminals back out again. But I hope a day will come. I hope a day will come when even folks who are on the left and where some of this stuff is happening in these districts will realize it's not about left or right, because when these criminals offend, they don't pick and choose who their victims are. And they often terrorize those communities that least can afford to be done so. So I appreciate this work, and I tell you, we've got other steps. There's a bill I'm supporting that would actually create liability in the case of gross negligence when folks are released out on cashless bail. But I appreciate this, and hope we pass it without a yield back.